Hello everyone. Let us see how to create gold and silver metallic text in Photoshop. So let us start. Let us first create an A4 size landscape document, and we'll give it the name gold and silver metal, and here we can take inches, and we will also create a black color background, and simply click create. Right. So once you have this background, we'll now simply select the type tool and click, and we will type gold. And one important thing is we need to change the font, and we'll keep Times New Roman as the font, and then we'll go to the character panel and we'll select all caps. We want the text to be in capitals. Right. So this is the text. Right. We can slightly increase the size and make sure that you keep it at the center of the document. Right. Then what we'll do is we'll first apply a gradient to the text. We'll apply a golden gradient to the text. So simply double click on the text layer to open layer style dialog. So this is the layer style dialog. Here we are going to select gradient overlay, and in gradient overlay we'll just open the gradient editor by clicking over this gradient option. And first what we'll do is we have these two sliders. For one slider we are going to apply a creamy color, and for the other slider we are going to apply light orange color. So we will just find out the values. See, the cream color value is F9E596. So simply we will copy this value and we will just double click on this slider and we will paste the value in this input field. Right. So we have a cream color at the middle of the text, and on the corners we want light orange color. So simply double click on this slider and we will also copy the light orange color value and we will paste it in this input field. Right. So this is the color of gold, and the next important thing we are supposed to do is here we have style, and we will keep the style as reflected. Reflected gradient will be the ideal one for creating a golden metal. And also when you have selected the reflected gradient style, make sure that the light color is at the center and the dark color, that is orange color, is at the corners. Right. Now we will just select the bevel and emboss option, and then we will reset all the values here. Right. We'll start from top. So here the style has to be inner bevel. This is inner bevel by default, and then next is technique. The technique has to be chisel hard. Right. And we will also increase the depth. we can keep it around 800, right? And the next is size. We will make the size 100%, or we will increase the size to the full value, right? And we can see the change. See? And also try to find a font that is similar to Times New Roman bold, right? And for this font, the golden medal effect looks really fantastic, right? Then we will move on to the next section, that is the shading section. In the shading section, we have the option angle, and also we have an option use global light. So we will just turn off the use global light, and then we will change the angle of this shading, and we can see the change. We can keep it around -172, right? Then the most important setting here is gloss contour. So this is the setting that's going to give us some reflections on the text. So what we are supposed to do is just click over here, and here we have different options, and from these options we will select the option ring double. Just click on this ring double. The moment I click ring double, see, we can see the reflections on the text, right? And then we'll come down to this section, which is highlight mode. Highlight means the bright shine on the text. So we want the bright shine color to be yellow. We'll just click on this color box, and we will apply a pure yellow color, and we can see here. And also we will change the highlight mode from screen to linear dodge. Linear dodge is going to brighten up the highlights, so we can see the change. And we will also increase the opacity. So see, it's bright, it's showing bright golden colors. And we don't have to change the shadow mode here. And these are the settings for gold, right? Now we will enhance this gold metallic look further by simply just clicking OK, and then we will take a duplicate of this layer. Simply hit Ctrl plus J, and for the bottom layer we will simply remove the metallic look. So what we will do is we will remove the layer styles for the bottom layer. So right click, and here we have an option clear layer style. Simply double click on this text layer, and we will be applying a stroke to this golden text. So here we have an option stroke. See, we have a stroke, but what we want is we want the stroke to have a golden gradient. The gradient we have just applied to the inside of this golden text. So what we will do is, just for the stroke also we will select the fill type as gradient, and then here we will just click on this gradient option to open the gradient editor dialog, right? And from here we will again apply the same colors, cream color and light orange, which are suitable for a golden metallic look. So we will just copy this value, and then we'll just double click on the slider and paste it in this input field. And also we will double click on this right slider, and we will copy this light orange value and paste it in this input field. That's it. So we have applied the golden gradient to the stroke, and make sure that the style is reflected, right? And also ensure that the light color is at the center and the dark color is at the corners. And we have also kept the position as outside for the stroke. And the size of the stroke is 16 pixels. Right. Then we will turn on the bevel and emboss settings for the stroke. So we will reset the values. Just click on this reset to default, and here we have the option style, and from the style options what we'll do is we will select stroke emboss, and we can see slightest change over here. Right. And then we will increase the depth. We will also change the technique to chisel hard, and also we will increase the size, and we can see the change. We are doing the same thing that we have done when we have taken the gold text. We are trying to apply colors to the inside of the text, and now we are applying the same settings to the stroke of the text. The only thing we have changed is we have changed the style to stroke emboss. Right. Now come down to the shading section, and we will change the angle to, let us say, 171, minus 171. Right. And we will also turn off use global light. Right. And we can see some change here. Right. And like before, we are also going to change the gloss contour option to ring double. Right. So we can see the change. And in highlight mode, we are going to select a pure yellow color, and we will change the highlight mode to linear dodge. Right. And we can see the golden look for the text. And we will ignore this shadow mode. We don't have to change the shadow mode. Right. And one setting we are going to change right now is, this is contour. Just turn on this contour, and we can see some change here. And also for contour we have option ring double. Just click here and select ring double. See? And we can also increase the range. See? With range we can actually change the direction of the light. Right. We can see here. So now we have created this golden metallic text. Right. And one thing we will do is we'll take a layer above the top text layer, and to enhance this further we will just select the brush, and here I have downloaded some lens flare brushes from brusheasy.com. You can just go to this website, which is brusheasy.com, and here I have selected flares, and I have just downloaded this free lens flare Photoshop brushes 4. We have different types of lens flares here, and we can download any one of these things, and these are all free. And once you have downloaded them, we have to install them in Photoshop. The way to install these brushes is simply activate the brush tool, and here after opening this brushes panel, on top right corner we can find this small gear icon. Just click on the gear icon, and here we can just select import brushes, and after selecting import brushes you can simply browse to the folder where you have downloaded the brushes and simply open them in Photoshop. And whatever brushes you install in Photoshop, those brushes will be found at the bottom of this brushes panel. Right. And we'll just see what are these brushes and what type of brushes do we have now. This is free lens flare brushes. So we can select one of these brushes, and we can simply just click here. See? But what we want is we will change the color to pure yellow, and also we will reduce the size of the brush, and also we can change the angle here. Right. And from this blending modes, we can select linear dot. Linear dot is going to be a bright blending mode. So just we will click here. So we can see there is some flare, and we can find a better one here. So there is a very big list of flares here. So we can just reduce the size of this brush and then just click here. See, we can see here. See, so we can just create some lighting, some extra glow to the golden metallic text. And also we can do one more thing. We can just double click on this layer to open the layer style dialog again, and here we can turn off this transparency shapes layer, so that what will happen is the glow is not going to cross the text, is not going to fall outside the text. So just see here, see, and also it will brighten the text. See, something like this. So it is the transparency shapes layer. To enhance the golden look, so we can use this setting. Right. So now we are done with gold. Now we will start creating a silver metallic text. So just select the type tool and we are going to type silver. Right. And we'll be using the same Times New Roman font for this silver metallic text. Right. Now what we'll do is, first we will change the color of this silver text. So simply double click on this silver text layer, and then we will turn on this gradient overlay options, and from these options we will just click on this gradient option to open the gradient editor dialog. And in the gradient editor dialog we will just double click on this left slider, and for this slider we are going to apply a lightest gray color. The value of this lightest gray color is EBEBEA. So simply copy this value and we are going to paste it in this input field. Right. And for the right slider we are going to select light gray, and the value of the light gray is 9C, 9C, 9B. Simply copy this and we are pasting in this input field. Right. And we can see the change. And also for this we are going to use the style as reflected. Right. Now we will move on to the bevel and emboss settings. Simply turn on the bevel and emboss settings, and we will again click on this reset to default. Right. And again we are going to use the same settings for the silver, because we have just changed the gradient overlay to a silver color, and the rest of the settings are almost similar to the golden metal. Just one small change we can do in the highlight modes and the shadow mode. Barring that, there is nothing new here. Right. So what we'll do is, so we will just keep the style as inner bevel. We will change the technique to chisel hard, and we will increase the depth. We'll keep it somewhere around 800. Right. And we will simply increase the size. Just increase the size slider to its maximum value. Right. And then here also we will change the angle to say -172, and we will turn off the use global light. Right. We can see some changes. Right. and just we will change the angle here. So we can also keep it around 170, and we can also type the value. Right. Then we will come down to this setting, gloss contour, and from gloss contour options we will select ring double. This is the setting that is going to apply some reflections to the text, just like what we have seen for the golden metallic text. Right. And again, in this highlight mode, we are going to change the highlight color. So we can keep a pure white color here. Okay, already it's pure white, or we can keep a little bit light, or we can also find a light grayish color here. Okay, and the most important thing is we'll change the options, the highlight mode, to linear dodge. Right, and we can increase the opacity. Right, and we can also try to increase or decrease the opacity for the shadow mode. See, in case you think it's appearing too bright, we can make it a little bit dark. Right. So now we have created a silver metal. Right. Simply we can click OK. Just like the golden metallic text, we will also duplicate this silver layer and enhance the silver look even further. So I will take a duplicate of this silver layer, simply hit Ctrl+J, and for the bottom silver layer we will remove the layer styles. Simply right click here and select clear layer style. Right, and now we will double click the bottom silver layer to open the layer style dialog. And now in the layer style we will select the stroke option, and we can see a stroke has appeared around the silver text, but we want to change the color of this stroke. And in the gradient options for the stroke, just open the gradient editor, and we will now apply the silver colors, which are, see, we'll just copy this value and double click on the slider and paste it over here. So this is for the right slider, and for the left slider we'll just copy this light gray value and paste it over here. That's it, and simply click OK. And we have to keep the style as reflected, and also the center color has to be light and the corner colors have to be dark. Right, now we will turn on the bevel and emboss settings, and again we will reset all the values, and we'll start from the style options, and in the style we will select stroke emboss. Right, and then we will increase the depth, and we will also increase the size, and we can see the change. And then we will turn on the global light. We will also change the angle and keep the angle around 170, minus 170. Right, then we will again change the gloss contour value to ring double, and we can see the change. And we can change the highlight mode to linear dodge if we want a very bright highlight. Right, and we will increase the opacity, and then we don't have to change the shadow mode, and we will just turn on the contour here, and for the contour options we will again select ring double, and we can slightly increase the range, and we can see the changes. Right. So we got the silver metallic look. So now we will do exactly the same thing that we have done to the gold. We have applied some flare effects to the gold, and we will also apply some flare effects to the silver. We will create a layer on top of the top silver copy layer, and again we will select the brush. We will select this flare 55, and we have just installed the flare brushes from brusheasy.com. Right, and now we will change the blending mode to linear dodge, and then we will just increase the size of the brush, and also we will change the color to pure white. Right, so we can see here, see, and if you don't want the shine to be too bright, we can slightly reduce the flow amount. We'll slightly increase it, so something like this. Right, and we can also do one more thing, that is we can also just change this setting, that is transparency shape layer, and then start clicking over this text. The glow is going to be more brighter. Right, we'll just crop this document. We don't want too much of empty space, so we'll just crop this document. That's it. So this is a short tutorial about creating a golden metallic text and also a silver metallic text. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please do subscribe, like, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.